this is Popular Affairs and I want to welcome you back to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, I'll be talking about the CRT model and OTE as a method to get very clean and precise entries in the market. In my previous video on CRT and MSNL, I was able to show you how you can use the CRT model to get directional bias, and also how we use the MSNL key levels to get very good entries, like very good sniper entries in the market. But a lot of traders have actually reached out to me to share their appreciation about the video. I've gotten a lot of testimonials. A lot of people have been able to use that particular video to make money in the market. And then we also have some other traders that are unable to understand the concept of MSNL as a means to get entries. And that's why I decided to make this particular video to show you a much simpler way you can get entries even while trading CRT. Right? The first thing we are going to need here is we are going to get familiar with what OTE means. OTE means optimal trade entry, and it is going to be, we are going to be making use of the Fibonacci retracement tool. I know a lot of traders have actually forgotten about Fibonacci retracement, right? Optimal trade entry. That's the meaning of OTE. And a lot of traders have forgotten about the Fibonacci retracement levels as entry. However, the method or the way we are going to be using the Fib here is quite different from maybe the conventional way you make use of the Fib retracement level. All right, so I will start by explaining the Fib levels. So let's add the two. You find the Fibonacci retracement level here. Okay, we have the Fib extension and a lot of that, but we are using this particular one, the Fib retracement. And by default, normally we apply Fib on impulses. When I have a trend like this, and I want to know where the retracement will likely get to. That's where the Fibonacci retracement actually plays its own important role. You have, after selecting the tool, you pick the start of the impulse and you drag it all the way to the end of the impulse. That's how we use the Fib retracement tool normally. So with this now, it's going to show you different levels that you can get, that your retracement can get to, right? According to the name, Fib retracement is actually used to know where a retracement is likely going to stop. So when a retracement starts like this, you have several levels, right, that the market can reach and bounce off. So by default, I'm going to start, I'll just do this for the purpose of what we need the Fib retracement for. I will be using this. So let me just quickly do the settings. First, you are going to turn off this line that we call trend line. The first box, turn it off. Then turn off other levels. Every other level should be turned off except this one. So let's start by leaving the 50%, and also background color should be off as well. Turn off the background color. The levels should be on the labels should be on the right hand side this time around. So right now we have the Fib level showing is 0.5, 0.62, and 0.79. So we're going to do this. We need three levels for our Fib retracement level. We need the 0.62. So 0.618 is going to be, you're going to just summarize it to 0.62. This is 0.786 to 0.79. And we need one other level, and that is 0.71. So these are the levels I want you to add as your Fib retracement levels. Now, let's take out 0.5. 0.5 is not needed in any case, like in any way at all. We don't need 0.5 for entry. So when you have this, you can go ahead and save it to your template. So you go over here, click on the object itself, go over here, save drawing template as, then you can save it as PAC OTE levels. And let's save that, right? So for now, this is the settings. You're able to use that to know where price is likely going to stop for retracement. So we have the 62%, the 71, and 7. These are the levels. Like inside this area is where your retracement is expected to stop, and you can buy from it. So this is just a normal way of using Fib. But in this case, we are going to need Fib for retracement. So mostly we are going to use it during reversal. Let's say the market is going up like this, and we have a shift in structure whereby we are looking for a retracement. So we are making use of Fib specifically in this scenario whereby we want to know where we can enter the trade. So MSS down. So if I have this now as a structure shift to the downside, And I don't want to choose the POI because the solution that the OTE is giving to us is that you don't really have to worry about the exact key level. MSNL, we have key levels in MSNL. So you likely have to choose, are you going to be making use of the QML? Are you going to be making use of maybe V shape, A shape, whatever thing you want to use? Those kind of worry can actually affect, trying to make the right decision. You can end up not making the right one, or you make the wrong one. A lot of things could actually happen when you have that kind of scenario whereby you would have to choose the key levels. But with OTE, it's more simpler. The levels I mentioned that you're going to add for your OTE, we have the 62%, the 71% and the 79%. These are the three OTE levels we are going to be dealing with. Now, with this now, if I want to get my entry, all I need to do is just take out my fib. And this time about this is now a downtrend scenario. I'll just take from the high to the low of my impulse, this particular move that went down. So right now I have my levels of selling. So all these levels you are seeing here, they are now the potential areas I'll be getting my reversal from. Normally, how we trade fib is that when price keeps on approaching these levels, any level that we get a rejection from is where we take our entry from. See, with this one here, you don't have to worry and look at the left-hand side and be thinking of what POI to use. Should you use other block? Are you going to use a supply or whatever? You don't have to worry about that. And it makes your decision very straightforward. Right now, I personally like the 62 and the 71% OT. Those are the levels I love so much that price tends to always reject from. So the idea is you can definitely place a trade. Once you just have your MSS, you can place a trade at the 62%, put your stop loss at the level of invalidation, which is above the previous high here. And they can take your TP to probably your candle range low or candle range high, as the case may be. But this is how we are going to use a fib retracement tool. So let's take it to a real example. First, what is a CRT? Because for the sake of those that have not seen the video on CRT, CRT means candle range model, and we are candle range theory rather, and we want to show you. Let me just quickly show you how it works. Normally, in the forex market, the candle range theory works in this particular form. Anytime you see a certain candle range, every candle range is very important. And anytime you just find a candle range like this, which is any candle, like I said, is a range. Normally we have breakout, which is maybe you have a bullish candle here, and the next candle turns out to close above the previous candle range. Okay. A candle range, the high and low is the range. This high is the candle range high, and this particular one is the candle range low. So if the market breaks above this high, that's the normal experience. That one indicates continuation. For that one, there's no problem. But in any case that the market fails to close above a candle range, that we have something like this happening, like market did not close above this previous candle range, is going to raise a concern. And the concern is that price is likely going to trade and go to the previous side, the opposing side. So when you see price not closing above a candle range high, it indicates that price is about to trade to the candle range low. So when you see these two patterns here, that's what we call the trigger. Okay, the first thing we call it is the trigger or signal. And that trigger or signal is these two candlesticks here. Just these two candles. Once you just spot this particular pattern in the market, we can be sure that the market is likely going to trade and go down. So that signal alone, once I spot this particular thing and I want to enter and trade towards this direction, that is when we are going to be making use of OTE for confirmation, right? And for entry as well. So let me show you examples on the chart. Let me just quickly show you some examples on the chart. Now, I have been using the MSN now, and it has been great. And the reason why I'm teaching you this particular one is there are some missed entries I got using MSN now that if I was using the Fib OTE, I would have been able to get those trades, right? I would have been able to get the entry. Look at this particular one. This one happened just this recent week, and we had a candle range like this. It was a 4 hours range. Let's check it out. So this is AUD USD, and I want us to check it out and see how a trade was actually missed. A very good one anyways. Look at this. We had the candle range low taken here, the whole range here. This high was a target. And I know that price is definitely going to target that high. Of course, even the external range liquidity here, that was definitely going to be taken out. So once I saw the trigger here, which is a sign that a trade is about to happen here, how will I take the trade? Now, on the lower time frame, let's say like 30 minutes time frame or 15, look at it. This is a turtle soup that has happened. The move below a candle range low. That's the turtle soup. And this is the MSS. Now, next thing I want to get is entry, obviously. And here I have selected my entry, which is a reclaimed block, right? The previous zone here that was invalidated is the same zone I want to use for entry. You saw our price came very close to the level and did not touch my POI before bouncing up, which means I lost, or I didn't lose actually, but I missed out on this trade. And that would have been a very painful experience. So let's see how using OTE would have been able to prevent that. First, there's the trick about OTE that you are going to also learn now is you don't apply the OTE on the candlestick chart, apply it on the line chart, right? If you are using this, we call it ICT OTE. Okay, so if you are using it, you are going to apply it on the line chart. That's the one that gives the true body, right? You are not using it on the week, but rather on the body. You can do that even right from here, but you would not apply it from the week to week. It will be from body to body. But if you go to line chart, it's very simple. From this low here to the highest points is going to give me my levels, right? And like I said, we want to get a rejection at any of these levels. We have the 62%, the 71 and 79. So any one of the levels that a rejection happens, that indicates that what that level is about to be respected, and that you can now start buying towards our target. No, the target here is this high. So imagine if I was able to look at this. You see our price rejected exactly at my candle range at the 62% OTE level here. So that rejection alone is a confirmation of the trade I need. You can, in fact, price even rejected at 2 levels here. And that alone is the signal for me to take my buy and hold my trade to my target, right? So this particular trade was missed because I used POI. Right, so let's look at another example here of a missed trade also. This is JP225, and the same thing happened here. We also had a candle range low about rated as well. See, look at this on the 4 hours here. Look at this clearly. The market was ranging. This is the bearish candle range, right? So as the market was rating out this candle range low here, we expected price to trade. So normally our entry will be to, after the MSS, wait for a pullback. So here I also choose a reclaimed block for my POI as well. And let's see how, of course, clearly price never got there. So let's use the OTE now from the low here to the highest point we have there. And let's see how price rejected also at my 62% OTE. And that would have been the confirmation for your trade, right? And you can trade towards the target, which in this case is the previous high. Of course, price already got to that target. So imagine if you were trying to use old maybe key levels, MSNR at all times. This kind of trades would have definitely been missed, and that would be a painful experience at all. In fact, it's a painful experience for me because I was using other things. Now, if you want to trade as a trader, you must choose your pattern and you must stay with it. If you are bending and trying to jump in between them, for example, because I'm using my POI now, that doesn't mean I can't use OT anyways, but I must not match both of them together. It's going to bring about confusion. If you want to use POI and stay with it, like just choose it and love it and just dive with it or do anything with it. And if you are going to be using the other one, which is maybe OTE like this one now, just stick to it and make sure you are just consistent with it. Don't go about changing your pattern from any, you don't want to do that. Because once you start changing your pattern, your result is definitely going to be affected as well. You want to set a standard and you keep on with that standard all through your trading, right? And that's what will give you the results you really want to see. So this is another entry that would have been gotten with OTE. Beautiful one, by the way. And you can see how price also played out to the target here. So let's see other OTE. Let's see. Currently, I took a trade on ETH, right? That's the trade. A signal was shared on my Telegram channel. And I was also using the same thing. We had a candle range low here too. I'm guessing it's the 4 hours. Yes, it's a 4 hours low. See, a candle range low here was taken, and I know that price was going to go to this high. So what did I do? It's very simple. This is the MSS. All I did was just to map out my OTE levels. Now the entry was taken right from the initial rejection, but here I use week to week. So let's apply body to body here for my OTE. So let's apply body to body for the OTE here. So what's the rule of OTE? Once you have the turtle soup, you just mark from the low, your feet from the lowest point here. Okay, hold on, let me erase the previous OTE. So from the lowest point here to the highest point here. And let's take it back to so look at this. The moment I got the rejection at the 62%, that was when I took my trade, but I allowed it enough gap. Of course, price, you can see how price was bouncing off all the levels. Price bounced off 62%, 61%, and finally, I think it later bounced off the last one as well. So this year finally gave us the expansion we wanted, obviously. And of course, the target is still very far, and we are waiting for that. But this is another way you can get trade without worrying on the left-hand side about which exact POI should I use? Will it be this other block? Will it be this inside bar? Will it be so? It's going to remove a lot of worry from you. Trying to choose the POI all the time. That one is definitely going to be even taken down to zero. You will not have to worry about what POI to use, which one should you trade. It's just going to be straight head on. It's a mechanical system that anyone around the world can definitely use. And that's why we're using the what? We are using the body to body, which is the line chart. Anybody around the world, if they are trading this model, you are going to be trading the same thing because you all are seeing the same thing. You are using the same thing. But if it's about maybe using the week now, the week you are seeing here, the brokers can actually add gap. They can add anything. There can be manipulation with weeks. So that's why we are removing the weeks. There can be all these weeks they are like manipulations, right? But the true body itself is the one that that gives us the actual information that we want to see. So let's see if I can get another example to show you how this actually works. So let me see if I can get another one right here. Do we have one on BTC, on USJPY? Before we go, let me just show you this trade on gold. I want to show you a quick break of what I'm expecting on gold in the coming week. Okay, so on gold now, we have a very bright daily range, which is a bullish one, and that is what we have here. The recent range is this low to this high, and that's a beautiful thing. So what we are currently seeing here is what we call the retracement structure. So right now, all we are seeing here is a substructure, which I call the counter trend structure, right? And I am looking to sell gold at this level next week. Actually, my stop loss level should be even placed above here because that's the actual invalidation point for the setup, invalidation level. But I'm looking to sell gold at this high next week, at least to price to get into my discount level, right? And I'll be buying gold from this lower level. I actually had plans of buying gold maybe somewhere around here, but now I've applied because now price has already gotten to external. So I will be making use of my buy around here, but I can place my alert here. So I get alerted that price is coming there. So what we are doing is we are going to be catching counter trend first until gold gets into our discount level, and we buy from the available discount zone that we have here to go back all the way to the external range that we have. So it's a very simple plan on gold, very simple one. First is to sell, right? And the sell has given us that market has already started that move already for down. So all we need to do next is for us to get our entry for next week. So I believe with this, you have seen the difference between MSNR and also with the OTE levels, and I'm sure you definitely have your choice. You made your mind on which one you want to trade and the one that suits your trading style. So let me know in the comment section which one exactly you have been able to test and use, and which one do you think you'll be going for, right? And also you can drop in the comment section the next topic you want me to make a video on, right? So thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys. Keep on subscribing. Make sure you like, you comment, you share the video to your friends and your trading communities. That is what will encourage me to keep on making more videos like this. Okay, so thank you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I remain Poppy Joe FS.